the internet, welcome back to the Armbar Arcade. I am AJ, and today we are playing F1 2010. See, we are now under a month away from the release of the latest Codemasters F1 game. It will be F1 2018. Believe it or not, I have actually snuck a play of it. I got to go to a little preview event and have a play of it. Spoiler alert. It's looking really good. But this was their first F1 game released across all the consoles. This would have been PS3, Xbox 360, I think. This was the first Cody's F1 game that I played back in the day, and I have played every single one since then. And all the time, despite the fact that there have been some amazing additions to the series since then, F1 2013 and actually F1 2017 are probably my personal favourites. They're the best ones for me in the entire line of Cody's games. I've always had a soft spot for this one. We are about to head out on track. I'm driving a Renault. Shall we get on with it? I think we should.
Car to track. Move it, guys.
One thing I'll always remember about this game, the incredibly northern race engineer. They changed it to another kind of a more neutral sounding or neutral accented guy in later games, and I think he was called Jeff. I don't know what the guy in this game was called, whether maybe he was called Jeff as well, or I'm just going to call him Bob to differentiate. So Bob, the northern race engineer, has sent us out on the track. Jensen Button's actually on the pole. Our Vitaly Petrov, our teammate, is in 6th. We're starting 12th, playing as Robert Kubica. Watch the lights, watch the lights. I can't actually see them behind the name tags. And I'm about to blow my engine on the start. Can we get on with it now? Here we go. Yeah, let's go, go, go. After the longest red light ever. And since that time I was on the M25 roundabout. Away we go. Oh my God, we are getting overtaken by everyone. Down into turn 1. Oh, up the inside. Nice. Just Dieball City at the first corner. That is the only way I know. And that's the only way I'm going to drive in this one, sucker. So I should also point out we are actually driving at Hungary, at the Magyar circuit. That is his actual name. Because, well, the Hungarian GP is this weekend, so I thought it timely.
Get onto the back of his car and pass him on the straight.
Bob's telling us to overtake someone, which I thought would be kind of self-explanatory for a race car driver. Hey, you, there's a guy in front here. You might want to think about overtaking him, mate. Really? Shit, man, I thought the whole point of racing was following him at like a reasonable distance behind. Or in the case of R Racing Evolution, just sitting behind him until he shits him. Oh my God! How is that? Excuse me!
We've been given a time penalty.
How have I been given a time penalty? What in the name of bollocks is that? I've just been penalised 10 seconds for crashing into someone who was in turn crashing into someone else who had already crashed. We've got wing damage. Oh, what an amazing first lap. No pressure then, but I now have to finish 10 seconds ahead of the guy behind me. Let's sneak a look behind us. Oh no! The entire field is right up our trumpet. We're not 10 seconds ahead of anyone. Oh my God, this car is just understeering everywhere. Probably isn't helping by the fact that I am using my wheel for this, my Thrustmaster T150, easy for me to say. But for some reason, the game's not actually properly recognised it as a wheel. It thinks it's a controller, I think. So it's not quite got the same input in the wheel, sort of the same sort of feedback detection and saturation and things like that. Like, the advanced steering wheel settings are greyed out. It genuinely doesn't think it's a wheel. So, which is weird, because I remember this game sporting all sorts of wheels back in the day. So, but it does mean it is drivable in this state, as you can tell by the fact that I am driving the car in this state. But it's also a bit of a handful. Like, if you just see here, the wheel in game is never straight, even though the wheel in my hands is straight.
Engine is getting too hot.
Oh, apparently, so my engine's overheating, my front wing's fallen off, my rear tyres are blowing up. How many things can go wrong in a 3-lap race? I think we're about to find out. So, coming around to the final lap. Are we 10 seconds ahead of anyone? No, we're not. The entire rest of the field is queuing up behind me. The entire rest of the field is within 1 second of the back of me, let alone 10. I have no idea where Nico Hulkenberg in front of us is. He's probably already finished the race at this rate. Relaxing with a cup of tea and a magazine. Understeer is generally horrible. Oh my God, has someone just crashed into me? Barrichello, have you just crashed into me? Well, I hope you get a 10-second penalty then for crashing into someone else. Because that was legitimately your fault. The first one, the road was blocked. I was like, oh, what's happening? Oh, I've crashed. Apparently it was all my fault. They blamed the entire collision on someone who didn't end up at the crash site for another 5 seconds. Anyway, I'm going to stop whinging now. Mark Webber's won the race. We are going to finish 13th on the track. Probably last after the stewards being like, no, it's all your fault. 23rd, there you go. Which I don't think's last, actually. Because I think there were 24 cars in the 2010 F1 field.
Disappointing result, but at least we got to the end. Well,
yeah, thank you. We were 0.7 seconds ahead of Alguersuari once the penalty was put into place. Alguersuari, mate, how rubbish were you? So here we are back at the main menu. We've got Grand Prix, which is what we were just doing. We've got career mode, which we're going to check out in a minute. We've got time trial, multiplayer, and my F1. And what I'm going to do here is basically take you through what happens when you start the game afresh. What we're going to do is start a new career. So here we go. We've got a android woman talking to us with a microphone. Okay, so yeah, this is how you enter your name in this game. And for some reason, it seems to remember my name from a previous save, which was a fictional Cockney racing driver character that I invented called Barry King. So I'm going to keep that name, because why not? Also, would like to point out, you'd think if a driver was making his F1 debut and walked in front of a bunch of journalists, that the journalists would know his name. Right, we have some options for which team to join. I like the fact in this game that you can't start in whatever team you want. That is the thing in more recent games, which I get. Sometimes you want to just jump in and drive a Mercedes or a Ferrari or something right out of the gate. But I like the fact that in this mode, in this game, you have to start in one of the more sort of backmarker midfield teams. I think that's quite cool. Force India, who have kind of been my boys of F1, mainly because Sergio Perez has driven for them in the last year, so I've kind of ended up supporting them. At one time, they were my boy team because both of my F1 boys were driving them at the same time. It was when they had Perez and Nico Hulkenberg in the same team. I was like, yes, both of my F1 boys in the same team. But I guess Esteban Ocon's all right these days. So let's drive for Force India, shall we? We'll just do one race in career mode to kind of show you what's what with it, and I want to try and use it to compare with F1 2018. I am interested to compare the career mode in the modern F1 games, including 2018, with F1 2010, because I seem to remember the F1 2010 career mode being quite extensive. And in recent years, they really have put a lot of effort into career mode, which is quite a contrast, because in F1 2015, career mode went away altogether. From F1 2016, they brought it back, and then in 2017 and now 2018, they're like, all the things in career mode, it's basically like an RPG. I do remember the career mode in F1 2010 being quite immersive and kind of taking in a lot of the lifestyle of a Formula 1 driver, you know, the walking around the paddock, being interviewed by journalists, talking with your agent, which I believe is what we're going to do here. Yeah, so here we go. So we've got outside. I don't want to face the outside world right now. There's people in it. I don't like people. First race? First race. Let's do it. So what we've got here, we can choose short race weekend, long race weekend, and then what we'll do, I like the fact there's a variety of race lengths that you can select. You can have all the way up to 100%, but nowadays it's 25%, 50%, 100%. I like the fact there's 3/4 distance, 20%, 30%, 40% distance. So we're just going to do a 20% race, just 10 laps. Yeah, I'm gonna have some assists on here because I haven't played this game in a while. Pit limiter, automatic plus. I don't want to run over everyone in my own crew. Just come into the pits at 100 miles an hour, just run it. It'll be like seeing out of GTA. AI difficulty level, maybe not, just professional. And another thing I want to check out here, I seem to remember there was a glitch in this game. I don't know if it was even a glitch, where for some reason, if you turned off tyre simulation, it was like your car was equal performance to even the best cars. Like, I remember starting a career mode in a Lotus Cosworth, which was like the second slowest car on the grid in real F1 2010. And I was able to like finish top 5 in most races, and then I won a couple of races. It was like turning off, but as soon as I turned on tyre simulation, I was back in like 22nd. So I want to see if that holds up here. Let's check that out, shall we? So we set our participation level, race distance, difficulty level, got a bunch of flashbacks, some Vietnam War flashbacks. Let's do this. Right, so there was a practice session scheduled, but we've skipped that because there was no real point, to be honest. That's one thing I will say about the modern F1 games. I like the fact that they use practice as, like, they give you, like, mini-games to do in each practice session to help with the development of the car. So there is a motivation to do all the practice sessions because you make your car better, basically. You basically gain XP and level up your car. So that is a nice thing, but in F1 2010, we don't have that. So let's go straight to qualifying. Let's go to track, and let's do a flying lap. The graphics are very good for the time. This was the first generation of, like, full HD graphics and everything, so that was all the rage at the time. And I think the game looks very good, even now. It has, you know, it's aged very well. I mean, it's not that old. It's only 8 years old. But it does look pretty good. What I will say, though, is it does suffer a little bit from that sort of grey-brown trend that we were all living through at the time. You see what I mean? It does look quite sort of dark and grey, and the colours are a little bit muted. So it does suffer a little bit from grey-brown syndrome, but luckily not too much. And I've also completely forgotten the layout to Bahrain. Maybe I should have done some laps in practice after all, but you know what? I've got a busy life. I've got places to be. Actually have. I'm recording this on the day this is going out, and when you're all watching this, I'll probably be at at the pub celebrating Nate's birthday.
You're up to 9th. With
Oh my God!
Time.
I'm 9th! Hey, not bad. Okay. But you see what I mean? I don't think this Force India is fast enough to be 9th place, but I don't know what it is. That tyre simulation being turned off, it's almost like it equalises your car. It's almost like it doesn't matter that you're technically driving a, like, mid to lower tier car. It just sort of equalises the performance so you're suddenly as fast as anyone else. I'm not even sure what tyre simulation is supposed to do, because I think the tyres still wear out and everything, I think. I mean, you definitely still have a situation, because, obviously in modern F1 you have all sorts of tyre compounds. You have, like, ultra soft, super soft, massively soft. No, I'm not talking about brands of condoms here. I'm actually talking about cars and tyres. But I am talking about rubber, though. Hey! But back in the day, back in F1 2010, back in my day, Sonny, we only had 2 tyre compounds. We had normal, I think it was called, or like regular, and option tyres. I think, obviously, because we're running qualifying, we want the fastest tyres possible. We are running option tyres at the moment. So you can see there with the green band on the wheels. And we just got 1.2 seconds quicker. We're up to 8th place. Nice. So I'm just going to return to the garage, have a chill, speed up through the rest of the section. There we go. And I think we've held on to our 8th place. Nice. Here we are then, Mark Webber on pole. We are starting 8th. And our teammate Adrian Sutil is 12th. I like that dramatic little cutscene they do on the grid from the start of the race. Okay, here we go. Watch the lights. 2, 3, 4 lights, 5 lights. I think it's hidden behind Massa's nameplate. Away they go. Away we go as well. That was a very short like, that was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green. And we'll charge down to turn 1 to try and not pile drive anyone here. Oh my God, Michael Schumacher just dive bombed us. Massa's going nowhere. He's actually stuck in reverse. Is that a Lotus behind us? Whoa, whoa, whoa. AJ, now's not the time to be looking behind you. That's actually worked though. We've just gone on the outside of Massa by accident. That's brilliant. He's going to come up to us in the garage after to be like, hey, that was an amazing move, man. How did you do that? I'm like, wasn't looking where I was going, mate. It was a total accident. Total fluke, that one. Something I used to do back in the day, because generally in F1 you have to start the race on whatever tyres you've qualified on. So that means if you use like ultra super soft god tyres for qualifying, you have to start on those and then pit quite early because they wear out really quickly, and then put the like hard, like average tyres on for the rest of the race. What I like doing was subverting that, qualifying on the slower tyres, starting on those, and just sort of pootling around for most of the race, then bolt the like uber sticky softs on right near the end and just being like, we'll charge! So, unfortunately, we're on the super sticky uber tyres to start with, so now this is our we'll charge moment. Some young people may not know this, but there was a time when Mercedes were not the gods of F1. This was from back in the time, this was from their first season back, actually. This was after 2009, where Brawn just stunned the world and won the World Championship. And then they immediately went away and basically became the Mercedes factory team, which basically means Brawn are the only 100%, are the only team in F1 history with a 100% record. Because they only existed for 1 season, and they won every title they could. And they had Michael Schumacher come out of retirement to drive for them. A little bit sad, really. He was just never quite the same. But they also had some guy called Nico Rosberg, who, honestly, as much as loads of people really didn't like him when he was a race driver for some reason and still don't like him now, Lewis Hamilton, I actually kind of love him. I thought he was great. I thought the amount of guff that Sky F1 would dole out about him to try and make him like this evil like Bond villain to the plucky Brit Lewis Hamilton. We all love, yeah, he's British hero, mate. He's Mr. British, mate. And then what does he do? He ends up beating Lewis Hamilton in 2016, wins the world title, and then retires 5 days later, so Hamilton can never get his win back. I just think that's brilliant. That's like the ultimate last word. It's like a sort of, I beat you, and then Hamilton's like, never mind, I'm going to beat him next. Wait, what? Shit, are you kidding me? Rosberg's like, I've beaten you now, bye. See ya. Anyway, speaking of the Mercs, I've just gone round Michael Schumacher.
You've taken 6th place. 6th. It
always felt weird in this game that Michael Schumacher was never the hardest guy to pass in the game. Like, Michael Schumacher in an F1 game should be like, I don't know, Dale Earnhardt in an old NASCAR game, or Colin McRae in a Colin McRae rally game. He should feel like the final boss. Our pit window is actually open, and we are pitting this lap. So, okay. I told you that we'd have to get rid of these super soft, uber, really good tyres early, which is a shame. So, let's see if we can pick up some more positions before the end of the lap. Oh, God, hello, Lewis. How you doing, sir? Oh my god. Another historical factoid for you. This was back in the days when McLaren was still actually quite good. This is where they had like the all-British super team. Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton. Where are we now? We're third. Nice. Alonso's leading. Vettel's up ahead in second. And we are in third for Force India. We are pitting in. We're behind Vettel. And I think we're on auto. Yes, we are. We're on... Are we? Are we on auto pit-in? I think we are. Auto strats. Yes, we are. Okay. I saw my pit crew over there. I was like, I really hope we make a hard right in a minute. And I was going to say, I hope that they've arranged the tyre strategy so they put the right tyres on. And you can tell that these are the regular humdrum everyday hard tyres because they have no green stripe on them. As we know, you paint a green strap on a tyre, you paint a green strap on it. Forget it. I'm just going to shut up now. I don't know where that sentence was going. It then veered horribly off course. We have come out behind the guy who was second. And we were third, so that obviously means there's a lot of guys who still haven't pitted yet. Do we dive on C? Do we dive on C? Dive on C, bitch! Whoa, that didn't work. That may have not worked. That was a little bit optimistic. I spy a Ferrari in front of him, which I think might be Alonso, who was the race leader before we pitted in. Whoa. And he is now dealing with some traffic in front of him, and he just has no idea what to do. He's completely bemused by cars in front of him. I mean, that's basically how the season was decided. Him sitting behind a Renault for most of the race in Abu Dhabi being like, how do overtake? Like, he was literally getting his team to Google the question, like, how do overtake Petrov? And it was like, no results match your search. Right, we are now up to 6th, so there's only a few cars left in front of us that haven't pitted yet, and I think I can see them in the distance. We have got 5 laps to go, and right now I'm happy chilling up behind Vettel. Or do I go on the outside of Vettel? I go on the outside of Vettel. Happier that way. Yeah.
Above our expected result.
Whoa, okay. Alonso was like, no, you're not passing me as well, mate. M9.
Take this guy easily.
Bob's just trash-talking Alonso for us, like, come on, mate, you got this. You got... Fucking have him. Go on, mate. He's like your drunk mate down the pub when someone's, like, beefing on you. It's like, oh, you're going to let him step to you, mate. Come on. Fucking have him. Fucking glass him, mate. A couple of people pitting in, so that was... I thought because it was a McLaren, it would have been someone in front of us. And I've just seen Buemi. He's the leader. So I'm going to assume he's still to pit as well. Cannot do the first corner. And Vettel's still lurking, but he's not quite far enough behind to... Are we going around the outside? We're going around the outside. Oh, fuck's given. Oh, force is given for Force India. Oh my God, we've done him around the outside. I mean, get so embarrassed, Alonso. Get the most wrecked. Oh no, he's coming back at us. He's coming. Oh no, and I've just gone off gone to Rotherham at that corner. And there's Buemi pitting as we expected. So that means we are about to take the lead with 3 laps to go for Force India. Where am I going? I've got a penalty. I've got a penalty for corner cutting. A 20-second penalty. What is it with the penalties in this game? Jesus. That's just... Like, what happens if I actually do something wrong, like actually cause an accident? Am I, like, thrown in a Russian prison for, like, 30 years? You know what? I've got a simple solution to that. Finish 20 seconds ahead of everyone else. Come on, we've got 3 laps to put 20 seconds between ourselves and Fernando Alonso. I seem to remember Jamie Whincup trying to do this once at the Bathurst 1000 a few years ago. Like, everyone was saving fuel, and he was like, do you know what? I'm going to have to pit again anyway, so why don't I just go absolutely balls to the wall and drive so fast that when I inevitably have to pit, I'll be so far ahead that I'll be able to have the pit stop and not lose the lead. And I think it worked. Because Jamie Whincup. We are 3.5 seconds ahead of Alonso and about 5 seconds ahead of Vettel in third. So, can we still get a podium even with a 20-second penalty? I'm determined to do this now. I'm doing this. Come on. Come on, let's go. 8.0 seconds now. We've somehow got to gain 12 seconds on the final lap. All right, let's do this. Come on. Come on. This is going to have to be the single greatest lap I've ever done in any racing game ever. 9.3. Or even 10. If it had been a 10-second penalty, we might still be able to do it. I think the fact it's a 20-second penalty has completely fucked us, but never mind. We are going to go down fighting, damn it. Come on. The sensation of driving in this game is so much fun. I still love this game a lot. This is still one of my favourites of the Cody's F1 games. I don't know why. I think it may be a little bit of it nostalgia value. I don't think I ever quite gelled with the handling in F1 2011 and 12. 2013 was amazing, admittedly. 2014 was a little bit of a stopgap. 2015 was sort of not quite finished. 2016 was really good. And then 2017 and 2018 have been kind of glorious returns to form. But this still holds a special place in my heart, as I think you're finding out. So come on. Come on. How big's the gap? 11.9. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make 20 seconds. We're gonna go down fighting. We're going to try our hardest. And so as far as I'm concerned, we are the moral winners here. Yeah, look at that. He's punching his fist in the air. He has won this race. And we finished second. Yes. Even with a 20-second penalty, we finished second.
Second place. Brilliant driving,
Oh,
mate.
amazing. Look at that. Unbelievable. And we were only... Even with the 20-second penalty, we were only 5.7 seconds behind Vettel, behind Alonso. Oh boy, that was sweat. I'll tell you what, that was just like VAR at the World Cup. It was a bullshit decision, but it somehow made for a really exciting event. We hope you've enjoyed this video, because I have really enjoyed revisiting this game. It still holds up, it's still good fun, and it still kind of has its own identity in amongst the Codemasters games. I think that's one thing you can say about the F1 games. Most of the time they have, it's not been like a FIFA game or something where, you know, it's like you pick up FIFA 14, 15, 16, 17. Basically, you could pick up any one of them now and they'd all be kind of the same game, really, except for maybe some different licensed tracks on the soundtrack. But this has an identity of its own. Most of the F1 games have an identity of their own, particularly games like 2013 and 2017 last year, and all signs are pointing to F1 2018 being even better than last year. And I thought last year's game was the best Cody's F1 game ever. So I'm really excited about that. Let me know in the comments below, because I am considering doing this, but let me know in the comments below if you would like to see me do a complete series on the F1 2018 career mode. Basically, my next complete series would be an F1 2018 career mode series. I've liked the Codemasters F1 games. I really like the look of this year's career mode. I think it'll be a really fun series for you guys. I'm really excited to do it. Should I do it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new here, and click the little bell next to the subscribe icon to be informed when we put up new videos. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys next time in the Armbar Arcade.